gosh, you again, bro? What you want, bro? You said you trying to learn what? You wanna learn how to make better melodies? So you telling me all this time you've been making trash ass melodies? I ain't gonna hold you, bro. It's the last time I'ma help you before I eat breakfast, alright? So, come on, let's go. Come on. I said let's go! In this video, I will be showing you 2 ways that I come up with my trap melodies. Simple enough, so let's get right to it. Alright, boom, so now we on the laptop and we in FL Studio. You feel me? The first method that I use to make it better melodies is plugging in notes to the piano. I like the piano because I feel like it's just more universal. And you know, I just like the way it sounds and the way it makes me feel. So we're gonna use a piano. So what I do is I go on the keyboard and I just hit, you know, random notes, not too random, but like I'll hit a couple notes, see how they sound together, and then I'll keep those. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Let's go. Alright, so off rip, I'm feeling this. So alright, so now we got our first chord. Alright, and I was in like less than 5 seconds. Now the next thing that we want to do to progress this chord is either move it up or down, you feel me? So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna just move it down one, and then we got it like this. You feel me? That don't sound too pleasing to me, so I am going, you know, divvy it up a little bit. Alright, so I moved it down one, and it gave me this. And that's the chord progression so far, you feel me? It does sound cool, but I'm not messing with it fully. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more depth by taking the bottom note or the root note and just plugging it in again, but in a lower octave. Gives it some more depth, you feel me? Cool. Now I'm gonna add some above notes, you know, just to break the consistency a little bit, you feel me? When I was playing with it earlier, I heard a, so let's see. Alright, a little faster. You feel me? That's the first little divvy. I'm gonna do some more and I'm gonna come back to y'all. Alright. And this is the top melody that I came up with. It's fairly simple, you feel me? I'm going to show you a way to spice it up. So let's get to it. Alright, so that's the melody. You feel me? We got the chords, we got the sub notes, and then we got the higher notes. Now to spice it up and give it some flavor. Cause you know, a melody ain't really a melody until you put some effects on it. Word. I'm gonna take away the high. I'm gonna take away the low lows. Add some reverb bizzle. And then you know what come next at halftime, my boy. Alright, so now that I'm at a halftime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it down to 1/8 so I can actually hear the melody itself, and then I'll move it up gradually to see like what kind of change I like to it. Alright, so that's how the melody sounds now that I added halftime. Also, what I did was move it up an octave, and then I moved it up one note. So instead of the root note being A, it's now A minor, which makes it a minor chord progression, and just added such a lovely ominous sound to it that I love. So when I do this strategy, I'm basically looking to go with what sounds nice to me. You feel me? So I use a piano, a generic thing, and then if I want to, I can later add in a different sound, or I can keep the piano. But for this, I'm gonna keep the piano, and that's gonna be the first melody. Alright. Before I get to the second melody, please make sure to like if you like, and if you don't, leave a comment down below to let me know how to grow. You feel me? Weird, that's the only way to improve. Now let's get back to this melody. Alright, cool. So now it's time for melody number 2. Fortunately, I was not able to record yesterday, the whole thing. So today is tomorrow, and yeah, today is tomorrow, and yesterday was today. I'm gonna pull up a beat. Well, I pulled up a beat that I already made, but I like this melody a lot, so I'm gonna share it with y'all, and I'm gonna show y'all how I improved it. So let's get into it. But first, I'm gonna actually show y'all the beat. So this is how the beat sounds. You feel me? That was that. Ooh, I gotta turn the sustain down. That shit crazy. This is how the chord and melodies look. The first thing I always want to do is double up the root notes on a lower octave to give it more depth. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take the E. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna copy and paste it. So I'm gonna copy and paste it, and that's what the melody sounds like. So when I first started, I had this up here, and it was just gonna stay like that. But I said that's gonna be mad boring because it's just repeating notes over and over. Nobody likes that. So what I did was I moved it down, and then I kept it in scale. If you have things in scale, it doesn't really matter where you put it. It's going to sound nice according to how you're feeling. You feel me? I kept it in the scale. All I did was drag it down 2 semitones, and then now the next thing is gonna be your top melodies. So the chords give the feeling, the melody gives the story. That's how I like to think about it. The last way I'm gonna show you how I spice up this melody is gonna be the effects. So basically, I took an EQ. Oh, I didn't even use that one. I took an EQ. I took off the high. I took off the low. I only kept the mids. But we're gonna go to halftime now. What I did with my halftime was I kept it at 1 bar. But with halftime, you can do a lot of things. So if I wanted to keep it the same but just make it darker, I would go to 1/8. There we go. So that's how it sounds with the 1/8 halftime. So the first thing was adding the root notes in a lower octave to add more depth. Second, the semitone movements. And the last thing, using effects to manipulate your melodies so that they sound different and they're not so dry. Alright? Pull me up some rock, whoa, fill it to the top, whoa. Getting bent 7 days a week, that's a lot, whoa. New chain, that's a lot, whoa. Too drippy, get the mop, whoa. Counting money, bloopers only, just know that's a lot, whoa.
Skxppy.